Hello and welcome. It's Ashley here with this week's episode of Stamp Create Repeat for Your Next Stamp. Today I'm going to be sharing a little birthday card that I made with a little spring theme, and I just fell in love with these little critters from this new stamp set, and I just love the colors that came out with this card. So I'm going to hold it up so you can see, and I'll get into the process video and share with you as well what items I used to make it. So I'm just sharing here all the little cuteness of the card, and I will link everything in the description box that I used to make this, and you can find it all over in the Your Next Stamp store. So first of all, I used the Your Next Stamp Black Olive ink and also the wire trimmers. I used some gumdrops. I used these ones here, which are the Sunset Sparkle. I used the yellow ones. And then this one here is the Spooky Cute Sparkly, and I used yellow from the Sunset Sparkle, and from the Spooky Cute one, there was this kind of like greeny gray color, and it just matched so perfectly with the yellows and grays, so I used that. I used the new Your Next Stamp Geometrix paper, which is so nice, and I really love this paper pad. It really got me out of my comfort zone. I usually tend to veer more towards like pinks and purples, and so I'm just in love with how this card came out because it really got me using some colors I wouldn't normally use, like the yellows and grays. Then for the stamp set, I use this Countryside Cuties. I love this bench here, and then I also use the little birds and also the little bunny there. And there's a gorgeous little fence at the bottom here, and it really just has the whole background ready for you. You just need to color it up and put it on a card, and it is good to go. So I love this stamp so much. I also used the birthday greetings sentiment, and I just didn't ink up the tweet part so that I could use that sweet die cut there. And then I also used the coordinating dies that you can purchase separate with this set. Then I used this sweet die. This is the Fancy Sweet, and it is so cute. I did use some foam and then some glitter paper to give it some nice dimension, and it really just pops off the card and gives it a really nice little something on there. Then I used this really cute scalloped die, and what I did was put it sideways on the card and allowed to have a really cute little scallop at the top and the bottom, and I think it looks so cute. So this is the Stitch Scalloped Rectangles die set, and I've used this in quite a few projects. I'm really loving that die a lot. And then I used these dies here. I used the 4th largest size, and these are the Stitch Rectangle dies that you can get from Your Next Stamp. So let's get started, and I'll share with you how I made my card. So to begin with, I'm just taking this geometric shaped paper and using that scalloped paper, or the scalloped die, excuse me, and I just cut that out with the largest size. Then I took a white piece of cardstock, and I believe it's the 4th size of the Stitch Rectangle, and cut that out on some white cardstock. I'm taking some gray foam, and this is adhesive on the other side, which is really nice because it allows you to just easily lift it up and you can stick it onto your card. So that gives it some nice dimension, and then you can just use a pair of scissors to pop out those little bits inside. And then I cut it out on some glitter paper as well. For the ink, I'm using the Your Next Stamp Black Olive ink, and I'm just inking up here this really pretty bench. I love how it has the whole scene for you, and you get all the little critters in this set so that you can have different critters sitting on the bench, and there's little birds, and I love this little couple one. This would even be cute for an anniversary card or a wedding card. Just such a cute set, and it's so spring. I love it. And then I did also stamp out the little butterflies. They're perfect for adding a little something in areas where there is like white space. So I'm just stamping those out, and then also those 2 little birds. So for the coloring, I'm going to be using my Copic markers, and I'm just starting out by doing the beaks on all the birds in YR02, and then I just put a little bit of YR07. For these little couple birds, I'm using Y38, and I'm just doing it around the darkest portion that I want, and then adding in Y35 and Y32. So cute. And then I took some R20 for the cheeks just to give a little bit of pink there. For the little bunny, I used RV13 and RV11 for the ears. And then for the base of the bunny, I'm using W3. And then I'll use W1, and I'm using the colors to match the geometric paper that I'm using. And what I love about this gray and yellow paper is not only does it have a bright yellow in it, it also has like a sunny yellow, and it also has warm grays and light grays. So it's so perfect because it's going to match with other yellow and gray papers, and also you're going to be able to use all sorts of colors with your Copic markers or with your watercolors or any type of medium that you're using. So for the little flower, I used RV 14, 13, and 11, and then also RV 10. I thought it'd be nice to add in a little bit of pink, but I really tried to steer away from pink this time and do more of like yellows and oranges. So I used yellow for the little flower, and then for this little bird here, I'm using a different yellow, which is Y15 and Y11. She is just so precious with that little flower on her head. So now moving on for the grass part of this background, I'm going to use G24. I thought I would do kind of more like a subdued darker green, and then I'll do some brighter greens for the leaves. So I'm just going around and adding the darkest green on all of the shading where the grass is. And then I'm going to go in with G40, and this is a really nice color combo for kind of like an ivy color or more subdued green. So I'm just blending that all out. It looks so nice. And now I'm going to do the middle of the butterflies in Y38. And then I just did all the insides of the flowers with that color as well. Then for the stems and also the little ivy bits, I'm just using G05 to give it a nice pop of dark color. And I just add that on all of the green bits there. And then I'm going to go in with YG00. And it really just gives it a nice pop. Then for the flowers, I'm going to use some yellow. So I'm using Y15 and Y11. And I'm just doing a few yellow flowers. Then I'm going to do some orange. I use YR07 and YR02. And then I'm going to do just a few pink flowers in RV14 and RV11. What I really love about this stamp set is you could color it up so many different ways. It looks like such a cute little one for spring and also summer. And then you also get that little fence that also comes in the set. So it's just a really nice versatile set that you can make a lot of really cute cards with. Then for the little bench, I'm using E59. And after I finished my card, I thought, oh, it would have been really cute if I had made the bench in a yellow color. So that's another idea too if you're making these cards. I love just trying to make as many different types of images as I can with a stamp set, and I think it'd be really cute to make the bench different colors. So then I'm going in with E57, and all of the shading there is there for you already, which makes it so easy to color. And then I go in with E55 just to blend that out, and it is just all done for you. I love how all the shading's there. It just made coloring it really simple. And now we have the whole bench part. So for the butterflies, I'm going to use RV14 and RV13 and RV11. Just again to add just a little pop of pink in there. I don't think any card I make could not have pink, so I had to just put a tiny bit in there. And then I went back with that orange color combo I used for the flowers for a butterfly as well. Then for these two little birds, I was thinking they would be so cute in blue, but I really wanted to try to stick with my color combos. So I looked up on Google, and there's actually really cute little gray birds. So I just made these into some little gray fluffy birds. So I used C8 and C4, and then I blended it out with C2, and then for the tummies, I just used N0 for a light little tummy look. And I think they look so cute when the card's finished. It really just centers all the gray and the yellow as well. And then I just used R20 for the cheeks, and then I'm taking my black jelly pen for all of the eyes, and then I'm going to take my white jelly pen to add on a little dot on each of the cheeks of all of the birds, and just a few little accents on their wings. And I add 3 white dots on the bunny, and just add a few little accents here and there. It really just makes it stand out and look really nice. So now I'm going to take the coordinating dies, and look how nice that bench one is. It cuts all around inside the little bench, and I just used some Post-it note tape to stick all of those down, and I ran them through my die cutting machine. And now is the fun part. I do like the little reveal of taking the die cuts off. So there is the little bench and the little birds, the little bunny there with her little daisy, and then there's that little cutie, and then I'm just showing all the other little pieces. Such a cute little scene. So I've got all my pieces now, and I'm going to start by taking an A2 sized card base, and I'm just adhering down a white card panel on top. And then I'm going to take this rectangle and have it sideways, and I'm just lining it up so that I can make sure that I have an even portion on each side. And then I just flip it over and trim off that little excess bit. And I have a whole card panel ready to go. So I'm taking this white piece of the rectangle and putting that down. And now I can start to put my pieces on. So I want the sweet part to be at the top, and I'm just kind of setting everything on so I can see how it will look. Honestly, you could just put the bench and it would look fabulous. So it's up to you how much you want to add on. And I just loved all the pieces, so I added a ton on there. Then I moved up the sweet part. I want to put a little bit of a sentiment so it can say sweet, and then I decided I would put birthday greetings. So I'm going to take the stamp set and I'm going to just ink up the part that says birthday greetings. And you can trim your stamps apart. I don't know what I was thinking when I did it. I should have trimmed off the tweet part, but I just inked up and just used my finger and my little stamp chamois just to get that bit off. And then I just stamped that part down. And it fit there so perfectly, and then I can add the sweet part above it. So I'm going to remove off that adhesive, and then I'm just taking my scissors to poke out the little bits that were inside of the cursive writing there. And it's so pretty and intricate. I love it so much. And so I'm just adding that above, and because it's adhesive, you can just stick it right down. And it would look so cute in the gray, but I did really like the yellow. And I thought I'd kind of lay it off a little bit so that you can still see a little bit of the gray and also the glittery yellow. And then I took my glue pen and just added some glue on there, and I'm just holding it down and getting it how I want it. And then a nice trick when you're putting on things like this is to take your acrylic block and you can set it on top and it will hold it for you and really give it a nice good press down. Just make sure that your acrylic block's clean when you do that part. And now I'm just taking my ATG gun and adhering on these little bits, and I'm just adhering them on so that I know where I want them to be centered, and then I can lift this part up and add all the adhesive to the back. And I think those little gray birds turned out perfect for the colors that I went with for the card, and I love how there's one to put on either side of the sweet sentiment. And then I'm just adding on these little butterflies here. And I decided I'd put the orange one on the right and have the pink on the left. So now I'm just going to take my gumdrops and add those on. So I'm taking these ones that kind of have like a grayish tinge, and I'm using the largest one in the medium size. And then I'm going to take the yellow from this Sunset Sparkle set and adhere that on. So that was my card for this week. I hope that you enjoyed. Again, I will link all the products in the description box for you. If you haven't, please make sure to head over to the Your Next Stamp YouTube channel and subscribe. And I will see you in next week's video. Bye now.